Hi, this is Teacher Jennifer from US Citizenship Podcast. Today we are going to talk about some of the more important websites for citizenship. We are going to be talking about uscis.gov. We will be talking about USCIS Citizenship Learning Resource Center. We will be talking about preparing for the oath. We will be talking about my USCIS. Of course, we're going to be talking about several channels on YouTube, and then we will return to US Citizenship Podcast. What we need to do is we need to go to the address bar. We can type in there uscis.gov, return. When we're here, we're going to be seeing several things. We can see the news bar right here. Of course, on the upper right-hand corner, you have the website is available in Spanish. Today, they're advertising that they're going to be, let me see, let's go back. They're going to advertise their new virtual assistant in Emma. They already have in English. They're trying to make it more available in Spanish. Let's go back to the English. We're going to take a look at, sometimes you'll see this pop up. We welcome your feedback. What do you say? I will say no thanks. We're going to be taking a look at the form, specifically the N400. We're going to take a look at your case status, and then we're going to learn about InfoPass. Let's take a look at the forms first. The most important one for citizens is the N400. Remember, they updated this on April the 13th. On the very first line is let's see if I can make it a little bit bigger for everybody to see. Okay, that looks great. It's this is the N400. When you open this, you can basically go to the top right hand of your browser. You can basically download it, or you can save it to print. Here you could print it, or you can download it. Again, you see the print and you see the download. Of course, the newest thing is that it's 20 pages long. Let us return to the blog. Also, things that you might need to take a look at the instructions. You might need to take a look at your checklist to make sure you're sending everything in correctly. And you may want to basically take a look at this one, the new G1145. With this, they can electronically inform you that they have received your data and send you any updates. Another thing that you want to take a look at just to the right is this one, Form G1450. This can authorize transactions on your credit card, so you can now pay for your application for citizenship with your credit card. Let us continue. It describes what is the purpose of the N400. It's to apply for U.S. citizenship. Of course, we know that it's 20 pages. We know that it started in March and it was released in April the 13th. It basically describes here where to file. So if you're in California, you would be sending it to Arizona. The eastern states would be sending it to Louisville, Texas. Let us continue. They talk about the filing fee. How much? It's $5.95 plus $85 for the metrics, so the total is for $680. And if you have any special instructions. Here you're going to see a new icon. This is the USCIS virtual assistant called Emma. Here you can basically ask a question. I'm going to say, how do I study for the test? I hit send, And it's going to be giving us some information about how to study for the test. Follow these links, and we could, but we'll follow these links later on. Okay? Now we're going to find out some information about, we're going to return to the main screen. We're going to scroll down a little bit, and we're going to take a look at check your case status. Check your case status. This is where you would type in your receipt number that you received from your letter, and it would check your status, and of course it will say where you are in the process. Next thing we can do, you can take a look at finding your local USCIS office, or if you have any questions about that you need to talk to a USCIS officer, perhaps you have a question about a form, you can make an appointment with InfoPass. What is InfoPass? It basically gives you 15 minutes with a USCIS officer. I'm going to click English, but the instructions are available in many different languages. They're asking here if you want to make your appointment. I'm going to say yes. And here you would start putting in information about your zip code. We're in Milpitas, which is 95035. Continue. You say, I need information about a form. And perhaps you can go online here, or you could ask Emma, or you can see if you can continue on. Let us go back and see what other things you can make an appointment for. Let's see, continue. You need service on a case that has already been filed. This happened for one of my students because they had the incorrect residence for her. So they're going to ask about you haven't received your permanent resident card, those kind of things. Let's go back. We're going back to the main menu. Main menu. Again, we're just simply following the arrows to go back. On the upper top, there is the blog, where you can basically see the latest news from USCIS. Some of the stories on this blog is actually very, very interesting. One of the things that USCIS has done recently is they've been really successful at their social media outreach. One of the most successful things that they've been doing is been handling some questions on certain days on Twitter. So they have quote-unquote Twitter office hours. So that's when officers are available to answer people's questions via Twitter. Good job, USCIS. The next thing that I would like to do is I would like to show you some of the information available on the USCIS Citizenship Resource Center. Again, what we would do is that we would go to the address bar, we would type uscis.gov/citizenship. Here we're now at the Citizenship Resource Center. We have information for learners. The one we're going to concentrate today on is study for the test. They have information for teachers, most notably lesson plans and activities. There's information for community-based organizations, and they have resources in other languages. Let's go to the learners. I would like to study for the test. Here's study materials for the English test, so take a look at that. We need to scroll down a little bit. Here we have vocabulary cards. We have some of these interactive practice tests that helps us understand some of the vocabulary in Part 12 or the commands that they use in the first part of the test. They have study booklets and they have some video guides. Please explore this more fully. We're going to step back one and let's go to the civics test. Here we have study materials for the civics test. Again, we have questions in multiple languages or PDFs in multiple languages. We have PDFs in Vietnamese, Tagalog, Spanish, Korean, Chinese, Arabic, English, and also we have the PDFs for people who are older than 65 and have been a permanent resident for at least 20 years. Again, you can download this all for free. They have flashcards that you can download and print. They have videos, and they have MP3s. With the MP3s of the audio, it's very interesting, so you can listen. So you can listen. Remember the USCIS test, it's not a written test. It's based on your ability to speak and understand oral English. So it's really helpful to go through and listen to these MP3s. They have them in English, and they have also in Spanish. The next website I would like to, oh, I'm sorry, one more thing at the USCIS website. I would like to go to the teacher's website, go to the lessons plans. Here there's great PDFs for people to learn more about the 100 questions. So for instance, they've divided them in beginning level and intermediate level. Let's take a look at one of these handouts right now. I'm going to take a look at your government and you. Of course, you can look at them in any sequence you would like. I open the PDF, and here is a nice, colorful, free lesson about the citizenship exam. One of the most interesting things from our students, because we have a large Asian and particularly Indian population, is that one of the first Asian representatives in the U.S. government was a gentleman by Mr. Dalip Singh Saund, who was born in India and served as a congressman between 1957 and 1962. So it's very interesting to take a look at, read, and basically learn more vocabulary and take a look at some of these resources. A lot of times I have these PDFs printed out, and we read them together in class while I have them projected on the board. This is, again, one of my favorite pages, responsibilities for everyone here. What's some of the responsibilities? We have to obey the laws, and we basically have to they make a distinction between the local laws and the state laws and the federal laws. One of them is applying for the Selective Service and, of course, paying federal taxes. Let's go back. Again, they have, most of them are the beginning levels, are also, they have a complementary intermediate levels. So they've almost completed the cycle for the intermediate levels. They have lesson plans for suggestions how to teach, and also they have the answer key. Let us return. The next thing that's really helpful for students, you could go back to the civics place and basically take a look at this one, preparing for the oath. Preparing for the oath is available via the Smithsonian, which is si.edu. It was a joint venture between the American History Museum and the Smithsonian Museum. So this one, we could type it, of course, in our address bar. But this one, let me just simply click it, and we're being redirected. It's americanhistory.si.edu/citizenship. Here we can start testing ourselves. We're not interested in testing ourselves just yet, but we're interested in learning. So we do the start learning. Again, we have the government basics. Remember, we just had simply taken a look at that PDF beforehand. And we can start basically playing some of the videos. So there's always an introduction. My students like to read along with that, and we hit start.
What does the Constitution do? The Constitution creates the federal government. It says how the federal government works. It creates a government where citizens choose senators and representatives to make laws for the country. The Constitution also protects the basic rights of all Americans. People at the Constitutional Convention wrote the Constitution in 1787. It is the oldest constitution in the world that is used today.
So after they show this quick video, and remember there's a video for each one of the 100 questions, you hit next.
What does the Constitution do?
You can repeat the question. We could say it basically defines our government.
The Constitution defines our system of government.
We could hit next for the next. One of the things I would like to show you on this is that you can turn the captions off. Okay, so some people read become too dependent on the captions. So we basically, I turn the captions on and off so the students can get used to listening and watching and really paying attention while they're watching these videos. Couple more things I would like to show you about. Up here with teachers on the upper right hand, they have some lesson plans. They have word lists for the students that you can print out. They have transcripts of every single one of these videos. These transcripts are particularly helpful because with these you can copy these and basically paste these into another document and perhaps make close exercises. So again, very, very important resource preparing for the oath at americanhistory.si.edu/citizenship. Let's continue. Another website that USCIS is trying to develop to basically give you easy access to the 100 questions is my.uscis.gov. So let's go to the address bar, my.uscis.gov. Here is a very simple way to access information. You could practice for your citizenship test. You could take a look at the path for immigration. You can find a citizenship class. You can find a doctor in case you need to take an exam for a step in the process of immigration. You can learn more if you need help, and when they have new products, they announce them here coming soon. Let's take a look at the civics practice test. Click. Here, the practice test, you can do it in English or you can do it in Spanish. This one, they're basically going to give you 20 multiple choice questions from the USCIS test. So you can listen to the question. Listen to the question.
What is the name of the Vice President of the United States now?
Joe Biden, Al Gore, Dick Cheney, or Barack Obama? Yeah, and so here they have a picture of Joe Biden plus a further explanation of who he is, okay? So the vice president advises the president. If the president can no longer serve, the vice president becomes the president. This is very interesting because these comments are based on the M638. The M638 was written approximately 2008. Some of the vocabulary and the sentence structure was very difficult for our students. So USCIS has taken upon themselves to basically try to simplify and clarify the the explanations. You can see this in this multiple choice civics practice test, and you can also see it in the preparing the oath application from americanhistory.si.edu/citizenship. Let me do another question, but this time I'm going to get it wrong. So I'm going to say Citizenship Day because I like that. But my answer was incorrect, but they give me an explanation of what the correct answers are. Very, very good practice for your students. But again, the best way to practice is to have students basically practice with each other. They're not only asking each other the 100 questions, but questions related to the N400. The next thing I would like to show you is YouTube, and YouTube is vast. What isn't on YouTube? Okay, first place I would like to go is uscis.gov. When we go to uscis.gov, you could take a look at their channels, their videos. I'm going to go here. This is all the videos that they have. One of the most important videos came out in 2013, their Oath of Allegiance during Constitution Week. So please, please make sure that you go back and take a look at this very, very important and inspirational video. There's many other videos that USCIS has put out that's very important, particularly one related to, they have things in Arabic or Cantonese that are basically explaining the citizenship process. Many of these videos are captioned so the students can follow along with it. Another important video is the consideration for deferred action for childhood arrivals, or DACA. So please take a look at that video as well. The next video I would like to show you is on wh.gov. This is the White House official channel. And when we take a look, whoa, oh, that's exciting. When we take a look at these videos, students especially take a look at the videos about what every week the White House puts out basically a quick summary of what the president and his cabinet did. So these videos from that are part of the West Wing Week series really keep the students informed of what's happening in the national government from the executive branch level. So again, that is from the whitehouse.gov. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. The next thing I would like to show you is VOANews. VOANews is a initiative coming out of the State Department that basically explains American culture to the people outside of the United States. VOANews, you can check out their full website at voanews.com. Again, there's many very interesting videos for students to learn about not only what's happening in the United States, but what's happening outside of the United States. Another important video channel for them to take a look at is VOA Learning English. Particularly, they're doing many things that are related to the American election. So again, this is VOA Learning English. I want to make sure that I've gotten everything on our list. Yes. Okay, finally, we have uscitizenpod.com. This is This is a series of videos that I and my students have done related to citizenship interviews. We have over 150 videos of people quizzing each other, interviewing each other, asking each other questions, things related to the new N400 or citizenship quiz. Of course, let's go back to my own website, uscitizenpod.com. Again, this is where we started. Many of these websites that I talked about are available quickly through the very first entry I have. We have USCIS Resource Center. We have Preparing for the Oath. We have the updated N400. Okay. We have VOANews. This is the main website. We have VOA Learning English for people who need to upgrade some of their English skills for the test. And on the website itself, we have basically a page of all of our PDFs related to N400 scripts. I'm in the process of updating these scripts. You can listen to MP3s of our interviews. You can get the 100 questions in multiple languages. I have many 100 USCIS 100 quizzes, more podcasts, citizenship by the month. So some things are related to certain holidays. So what I do is I've organized them by month. The next thing that's going to be coming up for us is Memorial Day. We have citizenship resources, particularly resources for the ESL learner. So there are links to those websites. And this is a project that I'm involved with at the Santa Clara County Library. We have we're teaching classes in our local library. So we have pages for each one of the libraries and the different things that we taught. So for instance, you can go through and almost take a whole citizenship course simply by following the sequence of classes and taking a look at some of the resources that we use. So if you can't get to class, going through one of our libraries and taking a look at those resources is one of your best bets. And this one, finally, Citizenship e-Portfolio Projects. This basically showed some of the things that we did in class that we developed and shared with students. They did approximately, I don't know, maybe about 50 videos related to this. So it was really a good time. We had a lot of fun doing that. So that's about it. Thank you very much for hanging out with me and taking a look at some of the online resources for USCIS. Oh, forgot one thing. Very important thing. We have a new, yes. We have a new app that's available for download. Oh, older posts. Yeah, here we go. So US Citizen Pod has a new free app. It's available for the iPhone or for the Android. So simply go to those stores and look for US Citizenship Podcast. Again, that's US Citizenship Podcast, and you'll be able to access that free app. Again, thanks for listening. Thanks for learning more about citizenship, and happy travels. I know you will be a great American citizen. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.